Changes are now coming to this deadly stretch of Highway 285. Barriers are going to be installed to try and prevent head-on crashes like this one on Saturday.
Yeah, Colorado State Patrol just confirmed with us that 34-year-old Lakewood resident Levi Sanford and 30-year-old Stephanie Webb from Littleton, they both died in that crash. And Marshall Zellinger is live tonight. Marshall, you asked CDOT twice in the last year and a half about putting up barriers. So why is it happening now?
Well, believe it or not, these emails I got from CDOT today prove they were actually considering barriers back in November, the last time I did a story on Shaffers Crossing. But one of their things that CDOT's apprehensive about, we've set up in this example with the help of photojournalist James Doherty. Pretend this table here is a concrete barrier. This ice represents snow that was not removed when a snowplow went down 285, leaving it here to melt during the day, runoff going onto the road. Then at night, it will freeze in the black ice, creating a problem for the majority of the drivers who don't cross the double yellow line into oncoming traffic. New lane lines, a large 285 logo, and flashing signs have not stopped head-on crashes on Highway 285 at Shaffers Crossing. Today, CDOT announcing 700 feet of concrete barrier will be installed in the median.
The biggest fear is, getting now trapped on the opposite side.
Only 7 News getting access to the science behind CDOT's Highway 285 decision-making, including new fears that drivers who still go into oncoming traffic will be trapped on the wrong side of the soon-to-be-put-up concrete barrier.
You just can't automatically just say we're going to put in a 700 feet of barrier or guardrail without taking a look at not having other unintended consequences.
When we last brought attention to this stretch of 285 after a head-on crash in November, we asked CDOT about putting up barriers.
We are starting to look at whether or not we can put in any kind of barriers in there.
Even before this weekend's deadly crash, email from CDOT proved barriers were in the works. November 13th, 1 week after our last story aired, Tony gave the go-ahead to Steve and I yesterday to do immediate safety work to use our existing contractor to place concrete barrier. CDOT tells me the contractor doing restriping work at that time provided a quote that was much more than the work should cost, so the barriers were not installed. And had CDOT spent more money than they needed on the barriers, we clearly would have ended up doing a story on that. I also asked about cable barriers. Those are the ones that you see southbound I-25 toward Colorado Springs. And what I'm told about those is that they could prevent an oncoming crash, but when the car hits that cable like a rubber band, you would go into that lane maybe 8 to 10 feet before you get slingshot back into the mountain, but you'd still end up in the oncoming traffic for a short while anyway. Reporting live, Marshall Zellinger, 7 News.